again, and thank you so much for being here. We still have water and tea and coffee over here to my right, so as we're going throughout the rest of this morning, feel free to help yourselves. The restrooms, if you need them, are just behind the curtain here. But we just want to say a special thank you to our students who helped prepare this. We love that aspect of this. To our culinary arts students who are right there this morning cooking it for us, to our audio-visual students and their teachers for leading and directing so much of this. So we're just so very grateful. In addition to our inductees and their families, we want to honor several special guests that are joining us this morning. Some previous inductees, Coach Jack Hibbon, who's here this morning, our county commissioners, Coach McMurray, who's with us this morning. We're just so grateful. As I began to prepare for the day, it was hard to believe that this is already our fourth induction class. It seems like it was just moments ago. Dr. Justice called several of us into the office. My wife gets a big kick out of the fact that I was just a weird English teacher, and I got asked to come to a meeting, and I walked in, and it was the football coach and basketball coach and girls basketball coach. I thought, what in the world am I doing in this meeting? But from that group began a discussion about some long-term mission and vision of what athletics look like here at Blackman High School. And a piece of that was a discussion about this, an athletic hall of fame, to begin to really memorialize all of the people and the players and the coaches who had had a part in so much early success here at Blackman. It was not long after that we had our inaugural event at the Grove. Just down the road, Coach Insel was our keynote speaker that evening, and we began to kick off plans for this, and now here we are, just 4 years later, inducting our fourth class. Before we turn it over to Coach Meadows in just a moment to talk about our athletic mission and vision, I just want to personally congratulate each of these four inductees. I've been here for 22 years at Blackman, and I've had the honor to see each of these individuals compete and represent Blackman High School. They are of the highest caliber of athletes and competitors that ever walked these halls. And when you think about the previous inductees, and some names such as David Price, Octavius Mathers, Crystal Dangerfield, Kenny Meredith, and the list goes on and on. And then you recognize that those individuals have the honor of being in the company of this class of athletes. It is clear that induction in this Hall of Fame is not only prestigious, but extremely well-deserved. Inductees, although you may have moved on to many other pursuits, except for Coach Phillips, who we still get the pleasure of enjoying on a daily basis here at Blackman, know that each of you will always be a blaze in our hearts. We're excited for you, and thank you very much. At this time, I'll turn it over to Coach Kevin Meadows, who will share a bit about our athletic mission and vision here at Blackman.
On your tables, you will find a copy of the vision and mission of the Blackman High School Athletics. I'd like to share that with you. Vision. We will become the school of choice in the Southeast for all student athletes because our teachers, coaches strive to be transformational and purpose-driven. Mission. We will consistently cultivate high character and highly competitive student athletes. Core values. We seek to do what is best for the student athlete in every decision. We take pride in the presentation of our teams and facilities. We engage our community through caring service. We honor our alumni for excellence, both past and present. We preserve tradition while pursuing innovations that promote success and safety. We all benefit from the success of others in academics and in sports. We believe that students can outperform expectations in the classroom and on the field floor with hard work, strong coaching, teaching, and design. We are Blackman. The athletic leadership team began putting these plans in place several years ago. At this time, we'd like to recognize the members of the athletic leadership team. Please stand and be recognized. Now I'd like to introduce Coach Barry Workman, and he will discuss the Hall of Fame history.
Today is an exciting day for us all, especially Those of us who have been involved in athletics. Today is a continuation of a dream come true, one that's been many years in the making. In the beginning, we wondered if something like this might ever happen, or if we would ever be successful enough to celebrate our athletic programs. Several years ago, as we were celebrating our 20th anniversary, it seemed like the appropriate time to put into place our athletic Hall of Fame. Now, as we look ahead to the next 20 years, we look around and see much of the success that our players, coaches, administrators, and student body has enabled us to enjoy. We would like to recognize the members of our Hall of Fame Induction Committee at this time. You can stand. The vision of the Hall of Fame was to create a venue in which we can honor athletes across all sports programs. The Hall of Fame Committee's goal was to honor the elite of our student athletes. Our criteria was highly valued on-field and on-court success, as well as sportsmanship, citizenship, and contributions to our community. You can go online and access our nomination forms and view our criteria. We also have some copies of our nomination form in the front office. Now, I would like to introduce our athletic director, Mr. Scott Wallace, who will oversee the introduction of these new inductees in the Blackman High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
All right, first, I'd like to welcome Coach Chad Hidley, who is going to introduce our first inductee, Shelby Campbell.
Welcome everybody. What an awesome, glorious day to be here and celebrate the student athletes who are going on to be amazing people outside the athletic arena because of what they did and who they were while being a student athlete and representing their teams and Blackman High School and the Blackman community so well. Today I have the privilege of being a part of not only Shelby but also Alex. And as I thought about both of those, in our program, and when we got here, and I was here for 10 years, we established our core principles, give, grow, love, and win, and we took that on. We had a beginning of a glue, and we had an ending of a glue. And those two players are here today. Shelby was the beginning of embodying those things that we talked about and we strive for. And Alex was the player, the person that finished that up. And so they were those bookmarks, those players that just led, not only on the court but off the court. They did a lot of coming to the office to ease an old coach, through the tough times and the obstacles and challenges that we have. And so it's very, very special for me to be here today to be a part of both of those inductions. But with Shelby, she came in and quit looking at me. She came in and her sophomore year, I remember Dad saying that she needed a place to be challenged. She got challenged. Quite a bit because I knew what they needed. I knew what they sought. I I knew the type of person she was. I knew the type of talent that she had. I remember her dad telling me at the beginning, I was coaching an 8 or 10-year-old AAU team, and he saw me run the kids at halftime of the AAU game for not boxing out or something like that. He's like, that's where we need to be. But not only did she need to be there, but he get hurt. Shelby had a ton of accolades, 3-time All-District, 3-time All-District Tournament, 2-time All-Region, All-State player, top 5 for this basketball, Donald's All-American, nominee, 1,000-point club winner, and then the leader of our team for our first state tournament. That was a ride. We were the only team in the program that year that didn't have 20 wins, but what we have is character. And that was a group that just really strived to be great. They strived to be coached. They embraced coaching. They embraced the culture. And that led to the next group and the other groups. And then Alex and her crew taking things to a higher level. And that's why I say that Shelby was, that person that took what we were trying to do, bought into us, believed into us, and then rallied her teammates around to make sure that they were following in those footsteps, because we knew that there was something greater. Our first one is give, and it's sacrifice self for something greater than self. And she embodied that. She knew the work, and she knew the hard times that we were kind of going through in the beginning stages of our program would pay off. I remember one meeting we had, and we didn't know when, but we knew it would. We talked about that, and she believed in that. She carried that. And then after her high school career, she went on to play at Sanford. At Sanford, she was on an all-freshman team, Southern Conference tournament, most outstanding player, battled a lot of injuries, or would have probably continued to have multiple accolades there. But she learned a lot through that, and we talked through that, went down and watched some games, and just to see her foundation of what she had here and what she built here carried her on to that next one. And then, after her college playing career, got into coaching. Coached at University of Alabama, Huntsville, helped that team in that program just build solid roots, solid foundation, and then obviously finished up her coaching career across town, state tournament, many successes there, many wins in her short time there. And now she's decided, which she always does. Shelby was one that would make the right choice. She'd make the right choice. She'd make the right decision. On the court, off the court, and she's made a decision. She's made a right decision for her and her future, and that is kind of one of the special things about Shelby. She wasn't afraid to do the right thing. She wasn't afraid to do the right thing at the right time. And that was a special, such as we had a lot of great memories. Beat number 2 Riverdale was a big one, but what got us to the state tournament, we were the 4 seed, and we were playing at Lawrence County. Shelby said she was down in that area doing some work this past week or so, ran into a player on that Lawrence County team. And she said, "Are you Shelby Campbell?" And Shelby said, "Yes." And she was, "You guys beat us, we were the number 1 seed." Talk about that. But the story goes, we're down by 1, we call the timeout. Of course, we're going to run stuff. Kind of younger coach, probably ought to use her as a decoy, right? Probably ought to use your best player as a decoy. At that time, I'm like, no, I'm getting the ball in her hands, and we're going to live and die with her. Shelby being Shelby made the right decision. They literally triple teamed her. We got her the ball off an inbounds play. She was triple teamed instead of forcing a shot, doing something that she didn't want, to do. She knew that there was something else better to do. LaDonna Bailey sitting in that corner. LaDonna Bailey practiced this short corner shot. I've told this story a lot too. She practiced that short corner shot. I didn't know why. LaDonna was not an offensive player for us. Great kid, great player, great worker. Helped us rebound in defense, but offense wasn't her thing. But there she sat, right in the corner where she had invested her time and effort, and Shelby saw her, made the pass, made the next right decision for our program. LaDonna hits the shot, and that propels us on to the state tournament as a 4 seed. But that kind of sums up what Shelby was about. She was about not shying away from that moment, but making the right decision in that moment. And as I look at it and I thought about it, and I spent some time in a word this week, and it talks about time, talents, and treasures. Shelby embodies that. She did then as a young person. She does it today. She loves the Lord. She knows how to value her time, her talents, and her treasures. She has an amazing gift of talent to help and serve. And that is the special thing about Shelby Campbell. Being a giver, being a grower, loving everything she does with her heart and passion. And she's a winner. And today she's a Hall of Famer. Thank you.
Golly, he got me emotional before I even came up here. I mean, goodness. What an honor. It's such an honor to be here and to be standing here. And when I walk into the school, there's just so many memories that come to mind as a player and as a coach. Getting the opportunity to coach here as well. And so I'm just so thankful for this school and the impact that it had on my life and the trajectory that it allowed me to take in many different ways. I don't know what's going on here. Throw away Chinese thing. And so I just am super thankful again for those who are on the committee, those who chose me for this recognition. I never thought growing up that I would be here. A 2-year-old, my little nephew, he just go Titans. I never thought I would be standing up here today, especially when I was 4 or 6 and decided that in 7th grade I should probably look at what's going on and start taking some growth hormone shots. So maybe one day I'll have the chance to be 5, 6 and play college basketball. So I'm super thankful for that. Those shots are miracles. But seriously, God gets the honor and glory for today. Thanks, Mr. Wallace. You always need help. And you're always there to help me. I mean, he really is. I always has been there. When I was walking the school hallways, he'd be there. When I was a teacher, he'd be there. He's just always in there for me. But God gets honor and glory for this opportunity. I really wouldn't be here without him. He's given me the ability to play such a fun game where you learn so much about life. You learn about resiliency, you learn about teamwork, you learn about what it takes to fight and be flexible. There's just so much that comes with the game of basketball, and so I just thank him for the talent and the ability to be standing here today. And also just the relationships that this game has given me with the people in this room, with friends, with family. It's something that you don't take for granted when you get older. And so I'm super thankful. This doesn't happen though without a village pushing me, encouraging me, and supporting me along the way. I want to thank Coach Shipton. You yelled at me. My dad, you said it. My dad wanted me to be challenged. I wanted to be challenged. And so we made sure that happened. And he yelled at me. He put me in my place when I needed it. And the Lord knows that I needed it at that age. And still today. And he taught me a whole lot about basketball and the IQ of the game. But more importantly, he always showed me what it was like. He did it to me, Albert. He showed me what it was like to walk in love and faith. He talks about my heart for the Lord. I can't say that he didn't lead me well there as a coach. And so I'm super thankful for that. Basketball is great and it's allowed me so many opportunities that I'm extremely grateful for. But that right there has been the set apart for my life. And so, coaching, then I wouldn't be where I am as a person, as a player, as a coach, all of the things without you always coaching me hard but loving me harder. And that was something that I carried over. So many things of what he did, I carried over into who I was as a coach. You would see my players doing burpees on the sideline at halftime, or something else. But also just being able to love my players harder than I coached them. So Coach, I thank you for that. I want to thank my mom and dad. I wouldn't be where I am right now without y'all. I don't think I give my parents enough credit. I don't think I ever have. And I think that's something that I realized as a coach is how much time and sacrifice and sanity they give up in order for their kids to chase their dreams. And so mom and dad, I just thank y'all for that, for raising me to be the woman I am, and for having the opportunity to chase my dreams and to move, to be challenged. And just like I said, time and sacrifice, I mean, over and over and over again, it's the parents who give up their time and their money and their weekends just to see their kids chase after and be happy and love what they do. So mom and dad, thank y'all for that, for teaching me and loving me and pushing me to be a woman of character, a woman of faith, and just hard work. It was never easy, and so I appreciate that. To my sister, who has a wonderful nephew back there, for always just being my biggest supporter. If anyone messed with me on the court, you knew that she was about to mess back. I'll tell a real quick story. I remember we were actually in Shelbyville, and I had a girl push me while I was on the ground, and Jessica was a senior. And she takes the girl, and she takes two hands and just shoves her. Two hands and shoves her. And Coach Edmund calls her over, she got a technical. Coach Edmund calls her over and was like, what are you doing? She's like, I didn't do nothing. He's like, you just did that on purpose. She's like, what did I do? And so she just always had, and he had her on the sideline running with the medicine all over her head. But again, for me, because she wanted to make sure her little sister was always taken care of, so I always had to make sure that at some point I needed that spunkiness to continue on with my basketball career. So she taught me a lot too, because I didn't stop on the basketball court. It was at home too. She made sure that she pushed me around a little bit. She made sure to push me around a little bit, so Jessica, thank you for always supporting me as a player and as a coach. And of course, I can't forget about my lovingly people right there, 92 and always supporting me. Better believe it. He was at all my games. If you know my family, you know. If you've seen me play, he was at high school, he was at college, he was at with me coaching, and he's here today. I'm super thankful and grateful that I get to have him here with me as I get to take this honor and this recognition. So people, thank you for always supporting me and pushing me. Again, another one that would push me. I'd miss a free throw and he'd walk out of the gym. And I'm like, there it goes. You know, if we start winning again, he'd come back in. But otherwise, he might be on for the rest of the game. But again, it's just fun to hold high standards, and I can't be more grateful for that. And just the love and support from my friends and family over the years is something I'm thankful for. They always have been and always will be my biggest cheerleaders, and so I can't go without thanking my friends and my family and for just the love and support, because I can say that not everybody has that, and so I'm extremely grateful and humble for that. Blackman High School, it's a special place that will forever mean so much to me. I know it was across town coaching, but it never takes the spot out of where home is for me, and that's this place. The relationships I built with administration, which a lot of them are back there, teachers that had me, Miss Stone, holding it down in the back. It was funny when I came to coach here. I walked in her room and I was like, "Hey, is it weird seeing your old student here teaching with you now?" But my teammates and of course my amazing coaches, they were some of the best. I went from playing here to coaching here, and I can truly say that Blackman High School has been some of the best memories and given me some of the best friendships that I'll ever have, and teaching me some of the greatest lessons about life. And so I stand here extremely humbled and honored to be one of many of the incredible inductees, along with Isaiah, Jauan, and the lovely Alex, who I also had the opportunity to coach with. Alex. 3 extremely great athletes, but even better people who represent Blackman really, really well. So congratulations, inductees, and thank you, Blackman High School, for this incredible honor, and always go Blaze.
So we'd just like to present each of our inductees a little something to display. Yes, and a photo op.
Care more?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next inductee, Blackman High School Hall of Fame, Shelby Campbell.
Hi, I'm here with Jauan. So, Jauan, what is your favorite high school memory?
My favorite high school memory has got to be Miss Bauman. She is the best chemistry teacher I have ever experienced in my life.
Okay. What are your plans after you get out of high school?
My plan to get out of high school is to go to college and play football, be a quarterback, and then represent Blackman High School.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to start by just congratulating everybody who's been inducted this year, being inducted this year. 21 years here at Blackman High School, you get to see a lot of great athletes. And I made a comment last year that when you look at the list that's already there and the folks that are joining them now, when you look at World Series champions, College World Series champions, Arena League champions, rookie WNBA Players of the Year, state champions, coaches, and I'll stop on that for just a minute to say this about the relationship that Shelby, obviously, you see the relationship that she had and what Chad meant to her. And Chad's one of those guys that's my big thing over the past 5 or 6 years as a coach has been the difference between being a transformational coach and a transactional coach. Chad is a transformational coach. Chad's the kind of guy that gets into people's lives, and when they leave his program, they're way better off than they were when they started. And as coaches, I think that's what we're all trying to achieve, and the things that we want to see. Nothing more rewarding than to have an opportunity to come back and see young people who have experienced incredible success, be it in athletics, be it in business, whatever it may be. But to see that happen, and to know that you had a little bit of piece of that, just a little piece of it. If all it was, one day, hey man, he ain't that mad at you, all right? You'll get over it, okay? We're going to move past this. Whatever it may be. But as coaches, as a program, as a place to be, this has been a remarkable place. It still is a remarkable place, and the future is nothing but bright for the place. Does that sound good? Okay. I have opportunity opportunity to, and I mentioned all of those accolades for people who are on these lists and these names, and I just had to glance up at it to see some of the names as I came by. And it's a unique group. It's a very special group to be a part of, and I'm glad to be a part of it this morning, and especially an opportunity to introduce Jauan Jennings, and what an incredible athlete. How do you begin to talk about the career of Jauan Jennings? I can go into stats, I can go into all the yards, the passes, and touchdowns, all the things that you think about, but I really think what I want to talk about are the big moments, because Jauan was a big play guy, okay? Jauan was more than just the stats, it was about the big plays. And for those of you who didn't have a chance to see him play here, think Georgia, Tennessee, okay? For those of you who know what I'm talking about, okay? That was nationwide, okay? International people saw that play and understood. The good thing about being on the sidelines with him for 3 years is I got to see it firsthand. Jauan was a little undecided about football, but he came into the coach's office on the first day. But Jauan's competitive nature wouldn't let him say no to a challenge. As a side note to that, I get asked a lot about what it was like to be there with Jauan during that run. And what was it like? And I tell everybody the same answer. Jauan Jennings is the most competitive player I've ever been around. Jauan came out his sophomore year, played a lot of defense that year. And I'll never forget one of the plays that we had I'm sorry, this is what we as coaches do. We sit around and tell stories. But this is how we build. I want to build this out to let you know how this kind of progressed for Jauan. And what Jauan meant to me and what Jauan meant to our program. But there was a play that night that ignited our team, the complete team. And when I say the complete team, I mean managers, fans, everybody. It was right in front of our bench. Riverdale came out in their pink uniforms, okay? Trying to get the flash and all that, but anyway. And Jauan made a play on our sideline that absolutely blew up the entire sideline, coaches, players, and everybody. He form tackled the kid right in front of us, shoulder right in the gut, hands behind the knees, and he lifted and dropped the kid on his back. And when he got up off of the kid, there wasn't an immediate celebration, but there was this, our team exploded, and in that moment he realized, and our team realized, this is a special guy, okay? This guy's got a lot to offer. There were dozens of plays like that. That was one I felt like that kind of catapulted Jauan into the leadership status on our team. I give Jauan a lot of credit for creating a platoon that still rings in my ear when he starts getting the team hyped for any game that we might be playing. It's something like, how about them Blaze boys? And he got that going, and it would get loud in our locker room pregame when Jauan got the Blaze boys going. Under Jauan's leadership, Blackman went to places that it might never have been able to go without him. Great coaching staff, Coach Owens and all of us worked really hard, and we utilized the kids that we knew that we had to make it happen. But there was always, when we needed something special to happen, there was always one guy we could count on to make it happen. Some of those places we went. We took the semifinal trip to Maryville. Didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but by all rights, it was a state championship game. It was a Sunday morning game on ESPN, hot. Jauan led us to a victory over Oakland. It was our second region championship that season. Jauan led us to that, and arguably the toughest region in the state, and one of the toughest regions in the South. We were able to play a game at the net against Hoover, which was a very special game for us, and that probably wouldn't have happened without a player like Jauan Jennings. One of the greatest moments was a remarkable historic game that come from behind win against Independence. We were down 28 with about 8.5 minutes left, and Jauan led us to 29 unanswered points and scored on a game-winning 2-point conversion to give Blackman the most unlikely victory in the history of the school. Jauan's an incredible young man. I remember, like I said, the competitive nature. I haven't talked to Jauan in a while, but the last time that I talked to him, his focus was what it always was. It was the next step. When I talked to the coaches at Tennessee about the opportunities that he had, they said he has taken advantage of every opportunity we've given him, and now he is excelling in a very special way. all of this talk about football, and we forget, as I look back here, Jauan also won a state championship in basketball. Incredible athlete, incredible young man, and to see him be successful, just that crazy thing when you're watching an NFL game, you're like, that's Jauan Jennings, that's our guy right there. One of the things I tell people about from time to time is Jauan has a rare accomplishment. Before he ever got to the pros, he was on ESPN 3 times. He was in the top 10 plays in 3 different occasions. A dunk in the state tournament, a touchdown that he ran out here in the ESPN game on Sunday. It was about 177 degrees. It was hot that day. Jauan ran all over him. Jauan and Charlie Davidson just put on a show that day. And then obviously the catch in Georgia. And there probably would have been more, but I know to be 2 sports in high school, I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think anybody else has ever done that in the history of ESPN's top 10 plays. But an exceptional young man. Again, like I said, his coaches speak very highly of him. I remember, I believe it was T. Martin that I had a conversation with, and we had a great conversation about what the future looked like for Jauan. And I'm so excited that he is in this Hall of Fame. I'm so excited to be able to do this morning, to say congratulations and welcome him into this Hall of Fame. And with that, congratulations. I know his mom and dad are here, that we want to say again, congratulations to them. And at this time, we'll hear from Jauan.
Where do I begin? First, I'd like to thank Blackman High School for such an amazing honor. Then I'd like to thank my mom and dad, because without them, none of this would be possible. These are the things you dream of as a kid, and to be here in this situation is so cool as well as humbling. The amount of talent that has came through this school is elite as it comes, and I am so proud to be a part of something so special. During my 3-year span at Blackman High School, it felt like a dream, and I mean that. I think it is the closest thing to High School Musical a real high school could be. From making lip-singing music videos, running through the hallways, to winning a state championship in basketball, as well as playing on ESPN against Blackman's biggest rival, Oakland High School, to which we won. It was like none other. Not to mention, we had the best student section in the country. Blackman was on cloud 9 in my eyes. With that being said, I would not be here without my teachers. Miss Bauman, Miss Moots, Miss Covington, and Miss Shepard, and there may be some I'm missing, brought positive energy every day, which made it easy to come to school. One of my best memories is the talent show in which a few of our teachers really surprised us with the talent they had. That's something I will never forget. Football was the escape I needed to change my life. Coach Shad, Coach Childs, and Mama Shad were the best mentors any young man could have. And there were some other coaches. Sorry if I'm leaving you out. There was nothing like a Blackman football game, though, and I think the entire Mid-State knew that. I wish all current and incoming students the best. Whatever dream or idea you have, first and foremost, believe and know it is possible. Secondly, know you have to put in the work. And I know it may seem cliche, but in the end, it would be all worth it. I wish I could be there with you all in person. I am looking forward to our reunion. Go Blaze, and thank you again. Let's enjoy the view. Go Blaze!
If I could, Coach Tiger, would you come up? And we're fortunate, Jauan's father's here today. Will you come up and accept on his behalf? Again, have to come up and step over in front of the microphone there for a photo op. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jauan Jennings, our next Coach Rick Insel, who's going to introduce Alex Johnson.
The inductees you need to be commended. Blackman High School, as always, what you're doing for your athletes, your coaches, rewarding them. It's big now, but it'll be even bigger as you get older and you get grandkids. You'll be able to lie to them about how great you are. Bring them over and show them the door. Before I really get into saying anything about Alex, she was the toughest athlete I've had to recruit since I've been at Middle Tennessee. Chad didn't know what she was going to do. We couldn't get in touch with her. And I threatened Kim that if she didn't develop some type of relationship with her mother, that I was going to fire her. So every day, the first thing I asked Kim when I showed up was, have you talked to Sandra? Because if you hadn't talked to Sandra, we didn't know what Alex was going to do. This was not just a day-to-day thing. This was about a 4 or 5 months process is what we had. And what Alex was doing was studying. She wouldn't talk to anybody. Because Kim would ask around the nation of people that were recruiting her, and none of them could talk to her. None of them get in touch with her. But we were in touch with her Sandra. I take great pride in being here today, to be honest with you. Alex asked me to come and say something. As a state champion, Blackman's all-time leader in rebounds with 886, I think. Member of the school's 1,000-point club. We knew early in recruiting her that Alex was going to be a great fit for our program. I challenged our staff daily to make sure we kept Alex at home. And we were thrilled that she chose to be a Lady Raider. She was the epitome, or is the epitome, of what you want in a student athlete and what we wanted in our program. After a decorated career here in this gym, her dynamic playmaking skills pushed herself and the Lady Raiders to the next level. As a freshman, she was a Conference USA Freshman of the Year. She was first team All-Conference USA. As a sophomore, she was first team All-Conference as a sophomore. As a junior, she was second team. I don't know what happened because she kept leading us, but she was second team All-Conference as a junior, and in her senior year, she got hurt early on and was able to come back and lead us. She ended up with 1,872 points at Middle Tennessee State. That's big. I'll just tell you right now, that's big. She followed Ebony Rowe, which was our all-time leading rebounder and scorer. And Ebony ended up with like 2,300, and Alex is right behind her. She's a winner in every sense of the word. She's the ultimate teammate. You can always count her to go above and beyond what was in the best interest of the team, not her. She takes great pride in her and is a great ambassador for this community and the pride in the school, which is Blackman and Middle Tennessee State. Alex's winning mentality brought her state champions here, and as well as a great career in a conference championship at Middle Tennessee State. Her championship mindset will be sure to carry on in her professional career. She's blessed with great family support, as you well see. I never had to worry even on the road if we were going to have some people there, because her family was always there to be very supportive of what she did. Her list of accomplishments are many, but this is her day. But now she gets to excel in motherhood. Now I have a small ulterior motive here. Because my granddaughter is in the same class as her daughter. And I'm teaching her right now how to throw the ball into the post. Because she's got my DNA. She's going to be about 5'4". And Alex, you can look at her daughter, she's got her DNA. There's nobody more deserving than Alex Johnson. Please join me in congratulating her on this honor and incredible basketball.
Good morning, almost afternoon. It has been a while since I've given a speech, so I do have something prepared. First, I want to say thank you all for being here, and thank you, Coach Enzol, for the wonderful introduction. When I got the letter that I would be inducted into the Hall of Fame, I was humbly surprised to be selected, but ecstatic, as I have always wanted to be a part of such a monumental opportunity. It's definitely a full circle as I stand up here today, as I was sitting in the exact same chairs as you are today, 2 years ago, supporting my former high school coach, Chad Lipton. I'm honored to be here today and with you all to accept this award and be inducted to the Class of 22 Hall of Fame. I've played basketball since the age of 5, where I began playing at the Boys and Girls Club. To say I was the best, not so much. But one thing for certain was that I was always the tallest. That was until I got to college. I can vividly remember back to the days where I first began playing AAU and my coaches told the team to run a suicide. And I would cry because I was always last. Let's be honest, I still cried on the inside even in high school and college, but not because I was last, but because my legs felt as though they were about to fall off. I believe the beginning phases of my basketball career are what molded me into who I became as a player when I ventured into middle school and then eventually high school. Those profound moments of crying and frustration pushed me to be better each day, to be the best teammate I could be, to do 1 or 2 extra reps beyond what was required, and to always uplift my teammates and those around me who were last in drills or who saw themselves as less than winners. As I think back on my high school basketball career, I can remember my freshman and sophomore years as years of growth, and junior and senior years to be years of pure domination. They often referred to us as the Fab Seven. The last 2 years of my career at Blackman, we went 66 and 30. We had opportunities that many teams didn't get, like going to the Nike Tournament of Champions in Phoenix, Arizona, and winning back-to-back state championship titles in 2014 and 2015. When I think back on what made our team so successful and unique, 2 words came to mind: heart and determination. As a collective, we had the hearts of a lion to never back down from our competition, and determination to break down any wall or obstacles that would hold us back from winning. As the old quote says, we hated to lose more than we loved to win. To my former teammates and coaches, Jada, who's here today, and Coach Chad Hibben, Coach Petermore, thank you for making my high school basketball career some of the most memorable moments, filled with lots of long hours in the gym, traveling, and more importantly, good times and laughs. To my coaches, thank you for believing in me and seeing something in me even when I didn't believe in my own capabilities. You pushed me past my comfort zone because you loved me and knew that there was more to offer. To the countless bus rides that were filled with lessons learned and verbal replays of the game, I took it to heart and applied them not only on the court but in my personal life as well. To my family, your unwavering love, support, and sacrifice is what drove me each day that I picked up a ball and stepped on the court. It's also what made me go play basketball 15 minutes down the road, even when I told my mom I was going to California the first chance I got. I'm so glad that I did it because the experiences and relationships that I've made are lifelong. To my mom, there are not enough thank yous to go around for the endless number of hours spent in the gym, money to watch me play and send me to camps, support and love during the good and bad times. You have pushed me to be the very best version of myself and not accept anything less. Even more, you continually pushed me out of my comfort zone when it came to attending camps. I can remember you signing me up for numerous collegiate camps and me begging you not to go because of the introvert in me. If it weren't for you, I would not have gotten the amount of exposure that I did or pushed past my fears. While I did not see it or understand it then, I do now. There was always another level that I could reach, and you saw that from the beginning. To my fiance and daughter who had to step out, Mark and Ivy, thank you for your continued support and love. While you may not have had the opportunity to see me play in high school, one thing that brought us together was our passion for basketball. I look forward to the day where we get to share many more moments just like this with Ivy. And lastly, to basketball, thank you for some of the best moments of my life, teaching me numerous life lessons and bringing me some of the best lifelong relationships and friendships that I could ask for. And I will end by saying congratulations to my fellow inductees, and thank you again, Blackman High School, for honoring my basketball career here. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to congratulate the other inductees. Like Coach McCreary said, impressive list up here, so you got a lot to be proud of. I was the first basketball coach here at Blackman Academy. Honored to coach Isaiah. And, you know, one thing about Isaiah is he was the lead. All right, he was a 3-year starter. Let's make no mistake. He could have been a 4-year starter. But Coach Lawless and I decided with that freshman group, with this being a first-year school, that we would keep those freshmen together, let them taste some success. And looking back, that was probably a good decision because they came in hungry, and they said, Coach, we're going to win. And they did. We went from 3 wins to 19 wins from year 1 to year 2. Isaiah was highly respected by all of his teammates. Not only did his teammates have full confidence in him, but we as coaches did also. I tell people this all the time. Coached almost 30 years in high school basketball, and he is definitely the best leader I've ever been able to coach. It was his team. And I don't know if I'd say he was the most outstanding player, but he was definitely the most valuable player. Because our team ran because of what Isaiah did. Vocal leadership, especially in high school athletics, is so hard to come by. So Isaiah was the coach's dream in this regard. Whenever we got a dead ball and substitutions came in, Isaiah was telling everybody who they were guarding. There was no question about it. If you ask any coach, that is a huge deal because usually when players change, you usually end up with one that don't know who they're guarding and it costs you points, sometimes it costs you the game. Our team never had that problem because Isaiah was barking instructions to everybody. Isaiah was very cool under pressure, not only from opponents but also from his coaches. As a starting sophomore point guard, we put a lot of responsibility on Isaiah to get things done. We were able to do this because he had also had such a high basketball IQ. Not only was he a good leader, but he used the game very well.
So, but as Coach Wallace pointed out when we were talking, he was also very versatile. I remember times we would put him at the high post in the zone because of his high IQ and his good decision making. If he got the ball at the high post, we could get it to him in the middle of that zone. He could make the team stay, whether he wanted to score or find the open man and just pick the defense apart. All right. A couple of stories I want to tell. First, like Coach Mack says, the stories is what makes it good, what the coaches do. Talking about his leadership too, when we would play cutthroat, like just an open gym before the season, we'd have 3 teams. Now, some people have trouble keeping up the score for their own team. Isaiah kept it for all 3 teams. And he knew it, and he yelled it out every time down the floor. So there's never any argument about what the score was, because Isaiah had it. One thing that all of these inductees have pointed out was the support of family. And I think that's so important. Not only were these athletes, great students, high character, but they also came from great families. And I think that explains why they were what they were. The people that they become, the high character that they have, their families. So thank you, family. Thank you, Ms. Phillips, for your legacy. I've seen Ms. Phillips at ball game after ball game, even after since Isaiah graduated. She's always there supporting somebody in her family. So I got a story on this. So we're playing Riverdale in the first round of the district tournament, elimination game with Campbell. This is Isaiah's sophomore year. And we had a play we put in, and we had never run it all year because we were just saving it for end of game situations. So this was a play if we needed to score to try to win the game, this is what we were going to do. So we had Isaiah come off a pick from David Price. And Isaiah had a lot of choices. He could keep the ball and score. He had Chris Lee in one corner. He had David Price on the opposite side. And then we had Nathan that set the thing. So we just said, hey, you find the right play. That's how much we trust him. So in this particular game, he comes off the screen. He hits Chris Lee in the corner. Chris Lee knocks down the game-winning shot. Buzzer goes off. Team goes crazy. They're all mobbing Chris under the basket. And if you watch the film, here comes Miss Phillips right out of the stadium just to run in to join him. She jumps right in. So great story and a great memory there. 3 games later, we're playing Columbia in the regional tournament. Very good Columbia team, been ranked 1 and 2 for most of the year. And we run that same play, but this time he finds David Price. David hits the 3 for us to win. And just an incredible shot, but incredible decision making by him. We got the ball where it needed to go. Unfortunately, talk about all the trust I had. Unfortunately, there was one game in senior year. We're up in Crossville, I think, during Thanksgiving. And you probably remember this. Yeah, he's frowning. So I didn't like to take a timeout, but in this game, for whatever reason, I thought we were not going to get a shot. So I called timeout. About the time I called timeout, Isaiah puts up a shot that goes in, which would have been the game winner. But the referee said, no, coach called timeout before you took the shot. So Isaiah, my fault. We ended up losing the game in overtime. Another story about Isaiah that sticks out in my mind is we're playing Riverdale in the regional tournament over at TSU. We've been up about 8 to 10 points the entire game. I'm calling a play. Isaiah just goes, "Coach!" And he points to the guy that's guarding him. So he's like, "Forget the play. I can take this guy." All right? So I said, "Okay, you got it." So Isaiah just proceeds to take it, scores on him. He scores at me like, "Yeah, see, I told you." So because of his leadership skills and the fact that he was such a high character guy, Coach Wallace and I always said that he should be a coach. I am thrilled that he is back here at Blackman coaching and working under one of the best guys in the business, Coach Wardman. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. Again, just a tremendous leader, tremendous guy, and couldn't be more proud of him. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaiah Phillips.
I'm standing between you and dismissal, so I'm gonna make this sweet and short. All right, first, I would like to thank my high school coach, Kevin Woodson, for presenting me and stretching those kind words. Mark that off. Second, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, our administration, and Dr. Justice for this award. All right, so like Coach Woodson said, I was a third string point guard going to the summer of my sophomore year. First string point guard decided to transfer and play baseball at another school. Second string point guard got hurt, decided to concentrate on football, which let me play early in my career. I want to thank my teammates from 2000 through 2004 for trusting me, and we made a lot of memories, and most of us are married with children now, so I won't share none of those memories. I want to thank all my coaches from high school. Coach Mack, Wallace, and Coach Montgomery, who's not here today. All right? Over the years, I started to become a coach, and I want to thank all my mentor coaches that's helped me throughout the years. But the two biggest coaches for me have been Coach Bell and Coach Workman. Coach Bell is the most efficient, organized person or coach I've ever met. I get to school around 7:45 every day. And Coach Bell has mopped both gym floors, aired up all the balls on both the racks, done 2 loads of laundry, hung up all uniforms, folded the towels, and broke the scouting board for the next opponent. So Coach Bell, thank you for being organized and showing me all the details that an assistant coach should do. And Coach Workman, first I say thank you. But second, if you've heard any basketball stories about Coach Workman, it's true. 2017, I was at Franklin County. I get an email from Tim Purvis. It read, "This is Tim Purvis, I coach basketball at Blackman. We play Coffee County next week. Can you send me your game film, your scorebook, tell me something about them, and also send me your number so Workman may want to call you." I sent the film, sent the scorebook, gave him a brief scouting report, and sent him my number. A day later, Coach Workman texted me and said, "IP, this is Coach Workman. When is a good time to pick your brain?" I responded, "Now it's fine." The call went like this. Coach Workman says, "IP, tell me something about Coffee County." So I tell him, number 23, he's their best player. He does it all. He had 26 points, 12 rebounds, 4 steals in our last game. Number 10 can shoot it. The team was all guards. They played man and zone. Did you not get the film? Coach Workman says, "I got the film, but I'd like to know a little bit of what I'm going to see before I watch it." And that made me think. So to Coach Workman, thank you for letting me see the game rather than just watch the game. So here's some questions that he asked that I had no problem answering. What defense did they start in? That was easy. What quarter did they switch from man to zone? That was easy. How did they guard ball screens? Now back to the 2-3. Did they trap out of it? All those questions were very easy. His next series of questions, I had no idea how to answer them. He asked, now why did they switch from man to zone? How many blowout guys do they have? What is their get back plan? Do they have a ball stopper? What is 23 playing the zone? And if he's out the game, do they trap out of it? What do they try to do offensively? What do they try to do to accomplish offensively? I ended up watching that same film 4 times. I called him back a day later to answer all those questions. Coach Workman, thank you for letting me see the game rather than just watch it. Check. To my family, thank you for all the support. As you can see, they're still here to support me today. To my sisters, I'm not a crier, I'm not a talker. To my sisters, thank you for giving your summers
first traveling to AAU events with me and dragging my nieces and nephews. So my brother, thank you for never taking it easy on me. Check. So my parents, thank you for all the sacrifices provided for us. For me to play on any team I wanted to and being there for every step of the way. To Keller, Ellen, and Bella, thank you for keeping me active and letting me watch them through basketball season. Check. And to my wife, who's dressed like me tonight. Thank you for understanding this basketball season. And when I say I got work to do, she asked me how can she help, and she writes a scout on the board for me. So thank you. And lastly, go Blaze.
Thank you to all those that attended. Some of you came great distances. I appreciate that. We all do. Thank you so much for being here. Just a reminder, at Blackman and what we stand for, you'll see back over my left, the 4 pillars of purpose, history, connection, and growth. And today we had an opportunity to recognize excellence as part of our history. It's such an honor to do that. Before we dismiss, could I have the 4 inductees, Mr. Jennings, we'd just like to take one quick photo. Shelby, Isaiah, Alex, Mr. Jennings, if we could, just one quick photograph, and then we'll wrap it up. Excellent. Thank you so much for being here.